Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and in this video we're going to do a card. And the only reason is, I think I've mentioned a couple times that I make cards. I have a little book that I keep everybody's birthdays in and stuff, and I like to make cards at the end of each month for the next month, but clearly that has not happened this month. It's already a weekend. Luckily, none of the birthdays are until next week, so if I mail cards tomorrow, everybody will get them in time. But a couple of you said, I really wish you'd make cards. So I'm going to make cards. And then what I thought I would do is do each step. And I'll kind of pause the video. If you want to do it, it's like a make along without it being a live process. What I'll do is I'll tell you what steps I'm going to do, and then I'll pause the video. So if you're doing it, you can go gather your supplies and then start it when you're ready. And that's what I'll do. But for this month, I think we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And I've got, wait, no, 5 cards to make. Oh, I made this once. I just want to show you. So years ago, I was one of those Stampin' Up! Ladies, and I did those stamps, you know, the rubber stamps for cards. I must have had hundreds of them, way more than I would ever need in anyone's lifetime. So I donated them all to an organization that does art for kids, and so I donated them all. I kept just a couple, and so I'll show you. I've got other rubber stamps, and I'll show you what I did. But anyway, I thought that was super cute. I made that. That's just the front of a card, so that's kind of a base, and I will put it on a bigger card. So I made that one. There's that. And for this month, this is our nephew's wife. It's her birthday, and she's a coffee lover. So I kind of made that, thought that was cute. Just says happy birthday inside. I'm trying a couple different things because I've got one of those die cut and embossers, so I wanted to try that. This is a rubber stamp that I have. This one is for a friend of ours. He loves the ocean, he loves being on the coast, and I even have like the little liquidy stuff that makes it look like water on the bottom. These are all rubber stamps, and I don't know if you can see behind, you can see there's like an anchor stamped in there. And the background for this one and this one, I did with Sharpie markers and one of these little squeezer things. You put the Sharpie marker in there and you mist it, and it blows the ink out. Maybe I'll do some of that for this next one. Anyway, so there's one that I did. And then this is for our grandnephew, my nephew's son. It's just kind of a fun one, and this is a stamp set by a guy called Tim Holtz, so I bought that at Joann's. And even the round background little backing, it comes as like a stencil with the stamp set, and then I spritzed a little bit of that blue to kind of pull in the blue edge from the card. So there's those 3. I need to make 2 more, and so I'll tell you, I don't get my ideas always right out of my head. I am hooked on magazines. I get these magazines usually at Joann's, and the beautiful part is majority of the time they actually come with a stamp set. I really like this stamp set. I haven't even opened it yet, but I've got some great ideas to do with that. But the wonderful thing is it gives you a stamp set, and then they are a book full of ideas. Full of ideas. So what I do is I look at the ideas, and I don't always use the stamp set that came with the magazine. This is the stamp set I'm going to be using tonight. It's the, this one has a little die cut that says best birthday wishes. And maybe one day we'll show you what a die cut is. But I love it because they're all nautical themed. I don't know if I put that up on the actual board it comes with. You can see like lighthouses and themes. So I'm going to use that stamp set for the card that I'm going to be making with you. This one, I love it. This was actually a stamp set. These magazines, they're all from the United Kingdom. So these are all from England, and you can't subscribe. A friend of mine, Linda, knows how to order them online, but I usually just pop into Joann's, and when I see them, I pick up the ones I like. But this one has all the Queen Jubilee stamps. And then, of course, there's tons of ideas in here of how to use them. Where's some of the Jubilee ones? Let me find them. Because I did kind of make one that I thought was super cool from this stamp set. I did one that was similar to this with the hearts on it, which I thought was fun. But I got a new magazine yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I was looking at it. Now, I know I want to use this nautical themed stamp set. But this magazine actually just came with it's for your book lover. But I was looking through it, and I found a layout that I like. And a lot of times that's what I'll do, is I'll get the layouts from the magazines, and then I'll put a different stamp set. So the layout that I'm interested in for this next card that I'm going to make with you is this layout. I really like it. But instead of the clock or the pocket watches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put nautical back here, and then I'm going to put maybe one of the little ships or the lighthouse right here. So I'm going to use this theme or this layout, but I'm going to use these stamps. So that'll be good. The other one I want to do, because I have to do 2 masculine cards, I kind of like this one too, and I think I could incorporate that also in that nautical theme, doing different things. But for tonight, we're going to make this card. So what I have to do, I need to gather some supplies. From looking at this, I can see that I need to have a card base, which I have tons of them from my mother-in-law's house because she was a card maker. So lucky enough, I have tons of that. I'll need probably a white piece of paper that I think I'm going to kind of do my own, maybe that spritz of color to make it more look like a beach or something. Like I think maybe down here I'll do a darker, maybe a tan, and then up here lighter. And then I will need a couple other pieces that I'm going to cut. But for now, what I need is I need the card base, and I'll need a piece of card to go over it that I'll cut, and I'll show you how that would be cut once I cut it, and then a couple of strips. So if you're doing this card with me, go gather yourself those supplies, and I will bring you back when I'm ready to do the next bit. Alright, so I've got my navy blue card base, and like I said, my mother-in-law, she was a card maker, so when we went out to take care of, their home, she had tons of card making stuff, like cards and things like that, envelopes and whatever, so I brought them home because I know I'm going to use them. So anyway, this isn't a square card like this one is a nice big square card. This is just going to be a normal size card. These take extra postage, and they have to be hand metered or whatever. So I've got this piece of white cut just so that it's framed nicely with the navy blue. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Sharpie markers. Now I ordered a whole set of Sharpie markers on Amazon that are all different colors. And I'm going to use that blue. I specifically got them for this. This is a thing, and it's by Inkworks, and you can get these. They're super simple to use. All you do, what my thoughts are this, I'm going to do the top half kind of like sky, and the bottom half I'm going to spritz it with kind of a brown to give it a sand kind of look, I guess. So you put this little Sharpie. You can use different kind of pens. I still have my whole set of Stampin' Up! Pens. I've got alcohol ink pens. I got all kinds of pens. Kind of a pen person. I see pens and I always want to get them. So now you squish this bulb, and you can see it's starting to mist on the bottom of that card. I don't know if you can see it here. You can see how it's kind of misting across there. I hope my lighting's good, because I really worked hard to try to get some decent lighting down here. It's fine if I'm making cards, but if I'm going to be showing you, I need way better lighting. So the closer you get, the more intense it is. You can see that. But I think that kind of looks a little sandy and kind of ventures out. I'm going to do it about a third of the way up. And this is all just out of my head, mind you. Okay. There's that. Now, I could do like this has all the little clocks around it. So I think I might just do different nautical things and still make it look kind of like a beach background. So I'm going to use this color blue first. I kind of wing it. Once I have the layout, I just kind of wing it. There we go. I'm going to put that in there. Crank it down. Here we go. And now, oh, that was probably a little heavy. That's okay. We can fix that by pulling this out a little bit. When I was a Stampin' Up! Lady, I used to have so much fun. I used to do a monthly group. We would all meet every month. I'd put together little kits, come up with a card, like holiday cards or whatever, and everybody would come and they'd pay so much and they'd get a little kit and we'd make them. It was really fun. It was a good group, too. Ooh, why doesn't this one fit in there? There we go. Just notice that some of these Amazon things are a different size. This one doesn't fit in there as easily. Okay, here we go. There's this little bit more blue. See, it kind of looks like clouds and sky. But I had fun doing that. I did that mostly when Brian was still in the Navy and he'd go out to sea. I used to do little Stampin' Up! Crafty parties. Now I'm going to do a little bit more of this darker color. So, see, this one's so much smaller. That's weird. Oh, that's why. That one actually took the middle piece out with it. Huh, funny. Alright, let's get this in here and line it up. Why is that not fitting in there? Hang on. There we go. Put my little thing back together. Okay, there we go. See there? Now it's in. So now I'm going to do a little bit darker blue. This one really sprays nice. I don't know why I started using this. I haven't used it in like years. Then all of a sudden I started using it again. Okay, that's that. Now I basically have, I'm going to call it kind of the background done. So there's the background. And then, so for this piece, I am going to cut a piece that will go across there. And I think the stamp that I'm going to use, oh yeah, I'm going to do the Lighthouse. So I have this stamp, and if you don't know, rubber stamps now, it used to be on a block of wood, and they took up so much space. That's why I got rid of all of mine. I probably had, I'm going to say, a couple thousand, like if you counted them individually, but the boxes, Stampin' Up! Would sell them in like a set of maybe 6 or 8 stamps, and I probably had 200 of those boxes, because I did it for a really long time. Anyway, but now, there are these like silicone stamps, and you pull them off of here, and then you stick them on an acrylic block. So there's your rubber stamp. So you stick them on an acrylic block. But the vision that I have for this card is to put the lighthouse like three-dimensional out from it. That'll actually look really cool. So now that gives me a whole different idea about what I'm going to do. So now I got to gather a couple other supplies, and then I will come back to you. Right, here's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take this, and I want to enhance the edge a little bit. And I'm going to just take these little, I just have little stamp pads now. I just don't need that many. So I'm going to put some on one of these little brushes. And then I'm going to kind of make sure that brush kind of doesn't get a big dark blob on it. And then I'm going to kind of go around the edges. See how that treats the edge of that card? I'm not going to go all the way around because down here I'm going to do the darker color. So I'm going to keep tapping this kind of, there we go. You can see how it kind of gives it a little bit of an edge. See how nice that looks? So let me keep doing that. I feel like a card making video is going to be way longer than a cooking one. I don't know why. Anyway, I sit down here and I make all of our cards for everybody for the month. Okay, so see how that kind of finishes that? And it just looks nicer up against that. So now I want to do the brown around the bottom of it. Let me do the same thing with this brush. And most of my things I get at Joann's or on Amazon. These little brushes came from Amazon because they were a lot cheaper that way. And there's so much you can do. I do the junk journals too. I have a whole little rolly cart. It's just kind of, for me, one of the things that is like, kind of get down here and I get to making these things. It's almost meditational for me. And now I'm just going to kind of smudge that out a little bit. So there's my edge. I've got the edging on the card. And now, there are a couple of little stamps here that look like little birds. And so I want to get those and put those on here and maybe put some little seashells across the bottom. So I'm going to take my little stamp here that looks like birds, and you see how it just kind of sticks on that acrylic block. And now I'm going to get my black Versacolor ink pad, and I'm going to tap this in there, and I'm just going to do a couple of them up there, and maybe up here. That looks good. And now I'm going to wipe it off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of the seashell ones so that I can put a couple down here on the bottom, and I clean them with a wipe. We used to have a Stampin' Up! Cleaner, but I find that just using a wipe works just fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what I want down here, but I've got to kind of line up this. Okay, that's going to be perfect. I actually don't think I need anything. All right, so this lighthouse now is the next thing. I've got a clean piece of white, and I'm going to stamp the lighthouse on it. So here we go. I'm going to take this ink pad, turn it upside down. Oh, I should have been stopping so that you can do this with me. But, you know, you guys just pause wherever you want so that you can, you know, catch up or do it however you want. Like if you need to pause so you can go get some supplies or catch up, just do that. This is just showing you what I do. And then I breathe on it, and then press it down, give it a good press, center, top to bottom, side to side, and lift straight up. Boom! There's my lighthouse. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these things away because I don't want to get ink on the lighthouse, and then I'll color it in, cut it out, and put it on as 3D and assemble the card. So let me clean things up, and then we'll be right back. All right, I've got everything cleaned up, and now I'm going to color this lighthouse, and this is a cool card too, this one, doing like different parts of it with the different stamps. It's kind of neat. But you know, these magazines, you know, you look at these in the craft store and you think, oh my gosh, that's pretty expensive, because this is like $24 or something. But it comes with an entire set of stamps, and I'm telling you, if you bought a portion of them, maybe 6 stamps in the stamp section, it'd be like $10. So I always find, in general, I think that they're worth it. Plus you get all the ideas on how to use it. But I can see here how this is colored. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some of these, the colors that I want. And I always have my sample card so I don't waste card. But let me see. I think this would be a good, I think this might be a good color for, it's pretty dark. Let me see this one, right? It's a little pinky. Let's see. Well, that might not be bad. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this, and because I've used the Versacolor black ink, I can use these coloring markers, and it won't bleed. So let me color this, and then I'll come back to you when it's finished and I've cut it out. All right, I finished the lighthouse. So all I did was color it and then cut it out with a little bit of border. I used to get really really try to get in there and detail and everything. It was just so difficult. And this kind of gives it, you know, it's easier to cut out, and it kind of gives it a cool look. I also stamped a little happy birthday on a little white card, and I went around the edge of it with the little brush that already had the blue on it. Kind of went around, and actually, for the lighthouse, I thought about going around it a little bit with the blue, and I might. Ooh, let's see. I hate it when I decide that I want to do something that maybe won't work out. But hey, let's just try. Let's just see what happens. Let me see if it just kind of, oh, it does. It kind of gives that just a nice little edge. It's an easy way to look a little bit more finished. See that? That looks good. I'm not going to go across the bottom with the blue because that is where the sand is. Oh yeah, that turned out all right. Ooh, I'm glad I did that. See there? See how I went across? See how this is plain? Now I'm going to go across the bottom with the brush that already has the stamp ink on it from when I did the other card. Oh yeah, that completely gives it a whole better, kind of a better look. I'm going to mix that right there. There we go. So that kind of cleaned that up. It's going to look great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this into the front of the card. Now, mind you, if you like this layout, you could do this exact same thing with, you know, with a flower. Like you could do it in brighter colors. Instead of a lighthouse, you could do a flower. Oh, and then to stick it on, I like to use this double-sided tape. I don't necessarily, these stick fine, but I like this because I know it's going to stay on super well in the mail and stuff. And I don't necessarily like to use the glue sticks because I don't think they stick as well. Let me get my little Cricut tool and peel off the double-sided part. There we go. So this would be a great layout to do even holiday cards. You could do a pumpkin on the front. You could do up here in the corner, you could do maybe little bats. If you're sending out Halloween cards, you could do a Christmas tree instead of lighthouse. There's a lot you could do. So let me pop this down. Line that up. I'm an eyeballer. Okay, there, perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stick this happy birthday one inside, or I'll forget. There we are. So I might do this exact same layout with, I have jungle animals. And so I could do that with the jungle animals. Ooh, I wanted to show you guys another one too, though. I thought of earlier today. And I'm just going to put that inside. Let me line it up kind of. That looks good. And now for this to be like three-dimensional, you can buy these little, they're like a little 3D square that's double-sided, and you can buy the bigger circles. And once those are popped out, I still keep this because this is still double-sided, and I don't like to waste things. So I'm going to use this little bit that I pulled off, and maybe this one. I don't know if you guys can see that, yeah. And then I'm just going to cut some pieces of this off to put on this lighthouse because I don't like to waste things, and I feel like it's just not a good idea to waste these things because they're there, might as well use them. Okay, let me stick this on there. Now I'll peel these off and I will stick this lighthouse. So just imagine you could have this little card display pretty much any way you want, and I kind of like how this looks right here. Ta-da! Now, that card is a super simple card. It looks cute. It's got like that three-dimensional, you can see how the lighthouse sticks out. Little tricks like just edging, and I like the way this is actually wider than that. It gives it a good look. So there's a card done. And I'm going to show you guys in this magazine, I found another little card thing that I think is really cool. So I look for ideas, and I'll show you if I can find it real quick. Where is it? Hang on. Let me come back. Let me find it so you're not just sitting here looking at me look through a magazine. I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. So see this little round one? This is really cute, but I'm thinking to make a circle like that, and then like thinking of you or something in the middle, or I have the cutest stamp set that is little teacups. Let me see if I can find it. It's like little teapot. Is that it? Nope, that's flowers. Let me see. If I can find it, I'll show you. Hang on. Here it is. So this is a super cute one. I don't know if you can see how it's got the little teapot. It's got You're Terrific, Your Kindness Warms My Heart. It's got You're the Perfect Blend, or We're the Perfect Blend. It's got a teapot, a tea bag, like one of those to-go coffee cups, a different kind of coffee cup, and beans. I'm thinking of making this round one and then making a whole bunch of little coffee cups and tea bags. There's even a spoon, and putting around the outside of it. I think that would be super cute. So that's what I do. I look for layouts in here, and then I kind of use my mind and choose different stamp sets to create them with. So that's just an awesome thing. And there you have it. There is a masculine birthday card, and it's kind of a nautical theme, just so simple, happy birthday, and that really was easy to make. So I hope you enjoyed doing this with me. Maybe I'll do it more often. If you guys say you like it, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll do some more card making or paper crafting. Oh, I've got my little envelope. I need to get something. I always like to try to stamp on the envelope something that coordinates with the card. So maybe I'll put a little seashell down there from my little stamp set. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.